Hey, what's up? So during the weekend, I had a feel of the itel S16. I had a couple of days with it to feel how it's going to be like, how 1 gigabyte of RAM, 2 gigabytes of RAM is going to feel like. Because when itel introduced or released the phone, I was wondering how it's going to stand the test of 2020 and 2021. You know, releasing a 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabyte memory device in 2020, 2021. How is it going to feel like? Because I'm using way more than that in terms of RAM. I mean, in terms of everything, I'm using way more than that. And so first of all, this is not going to be a review of the device. So if you're here to watch like how the camera performs, how durable the phone is, will it fall, will it crack when it falls, how is it a waterproof, I'm just not doing that, okay? So I'm making this video just to show you, tell you my opinion on the device and my conclusion after using the itel S16 1 gigabyte of RAM version for a couple of days and how it's going to stand out in 2021, because we're heading there now with the itel S16 and the 16 Pro. So moving straight into the video. So as you can see, I don't have the device in hand because I had to let it go. But after using it for a couple of days, some of the two things I actually tested was the performance and the camera. And these are actually what makes a smartphone smart. And also the same two things make a cheap smartphone very cheap. As I said in one of my videos about cheap devices and why they're cheap, you can check the link in the description below and also card up here. I mentioned that, and look, like I said, I'm not going to sweet talk this. The itel S16 comes with 1 gigabyte of RAM, costs about 400 cedis, less than $100. It's a very cheap phone, but I don't agree to the price tag that's been put on it, okay? Because of whatever is in the phone. First of all, the performance, 1 gigabyte of RAM with a Spectrum processor. I pretty much used a lot of cheap devices, a lot of brands out here selling cheap devices in this region, Ghana, Nigeria, this region of ours. I've used a lot of devices by them, Huawei, Techno, Infinix, Samsung, you know, itel, all of these devices. I've used a lot of cheap devices from these brands, and I really know how they will outperform each other based on how they work around their processors and matching it with the memories and the RAMs they put in it, okay? itel devices have been using Spectrum processors for as long as I can remember. I think I've used 2 itel devices before, and wow. I mean, those were a long time ago, but in 2020, 1 gigabyte of RAM with a Spectrum processor isn't really going to do much for you, okay? I opened a couple of apps that aren't heavy apps. First of all, I didn't have any app open in the background. I closed all the apps open in the background, and I opened some apps which don't consume that much memory and aren't heavy, like the calculator app, calendar, contacts, your contacts. And they seem to lag. I was surprised, like, wow. I kind of expected that to happen, but I didn't expect it to happen with these apps, okay? And maybe you have WhatsApp, Chrome, YouTube, Facebook open in the background and they lagged. It's normal. Even 2 gigabytes of RAM devices lag when you have these heavy apps in the background. But I didn't have anything in the background, and these lightweight apps started apps. Did I say apps? I said apps, yeah. This lightweight app started lagging, and I wasn't impressed at all. 2020, the COVID season has made everything online. You school online, you graduate online, you work online, you pretty much do everything online these days. So is the itel S16 suitable for this? Is it going to solve this problem? So I kind of in a dilemma as to whether the phone came during the right time or the wrong time. It's actually both. It actually came during the right time and also the wrong time. You'd have a lot of people bored at home, a lot of your kids bored at home, and some of us are even thinking of getting them smartphones. Do you think you should go for a Note 8? A Galaxy Note 8, which is very expensive for a very small kid. So the itel S16 is there to solve your problems. Your grandma who sits idle at home was always been idle even before COVID came. You could get her the itel S16. That's about the performance. When you come to the camera, they have a lot of settings, a lot of features. AI being one of the features they have, which sucks. It's terrible. Do not ever use the AI on the itel. Look, I mean, Infinix, Techno, and Huawei, some of these devices have AI features enabled on them. And the higher you go on the smartphone level ladder, the better the AI capability or feature becomes, okay? But when you have it on a very cheap smartphone, less than $100 smartphone like the itel S16, you're not really going to get the best out of AI because it just worsens everything for you. I mean, even the some of the Infinix devices have problem with the AI. Because you'd rather be better off not using the AI than using the AI. You thinking it's gonna make it better, but it just worsens everything. And the picture in itself, like I said, the camera is one thing that makes cheap devices very cheap because they don't have a very open aperture. Okay, the aperture is closed in. They don't allow a lot of light in it, so the ISO is forced to go up, and you see a lot of grain in it. and they have a pro mode. I was surprised to see a pro mode in the camera setting, and they had a couple of options there. And look, it doesn't matter if you have 3 cameras at the back, if you have a pro mode, if you have a different mode for macro. The portrait actually also doesn't make sense because it gives you a false bokeh at the back. I tried a couple of these and you can see images of my tests. It just doesn't work well at all. It just doesn't work well at all. So the camera is really bad. If you're buying this phone for the camera or performance, no. I mean, itel is not going to come out to you and tell you it's for your grandma or it's for Kwame Eugene is like the face of itel S16 right now, or itel in general. I don't really know because I don't really care. And so, you know, he kind of pushes it out to a lot of people. He has his fans. Itel have their own fans. But look, I'm just going to tell it to you, okay? The phone is not for you. It's not for everybody. It's just for this category of people that I mentioned. And itel is not competing with Infinix and Tecno. It's not competing with any brand out there. itel is its own brand. They're doing their own thing, and I love them for that. And they keep on making good phones for their target audience. But 1 GB of RAM with a Spectrum processor is not going to take you anywhere watching this video and being on YouTube. I mean, you could be on YouTube right now and YouTube starts to lag on the itel S16. So yeah, it's a very good device for their target audience, but for everybody in general, it's not. So really take care when you're buying the itel S16. And I had fun with it, but I was impressed by what they did, but I wasn't impressed for the people out there. So I'll see you in the next video, and this is just my opinion and conclusion about the itel S16 after using it for a couple of days. See you in the next video. Peace out and stay safe.